All right, we have the game, and we will stream this as soon as I get this announcement on. It's a little later than I wanted, but good enough. Good enough. As I get this announcement on, there we go. That's my double. I'm gonna create this link. And we are going to start with the original, start. I was thinking about using the Tengen start, but I was like, I kind of suck with the Tengen start. I think some people know how to use the Tengen a lot better than I do. The Tengen, like I've said before, does control a lot of ladders, so it's not a completely wasteful move. I don't think it's worth a move in the beginning, but it doesn't put you down by too much if you actually choose to take the Tengen start. One of my weaknesses is that I always tend to mess up I always think I'm actually behind when I'm actually ahead. That's not a right move. You gotta extend the corner. Giving me the corner is just way too much. Yeah, giving me the corner is just giving me way too much. Yeah, I mean, that's useless if you let me get over here. I also have the Hane if I really need it. And I get all this territory, so I'm not going to bother to respond to that. Think this will be the right move. You get so little over here, and the influence over here is just not enough. Like, you've given me all this territory down here. Okay, this is an interesting move. If I do this, I'm almost sure he'll jump and then attack me over here, so that's probably not a good move. I'm just going to go down here. He's already lost a lot of this corner. So there's not actually that much territory here, plus I still have this clamp move here. It's perfectly fine. There's still a little bit of Aji in there. I don't know what's the biggest move right now, actually. There's not actually that much. I could secure this corner, but he can't really do anything over here. And there's no point in trying to run the stone out here. There's relatively few points in there. I think this might actually be the biggest move. Either that or something over here. I'm not really sure which one. This honestly looks to be one of the more passive games I'm actually going to play. So I've gotten my part, so I guess I'll just solidify this territory here. Realistically, I'm not really sure if this move is actually worth answering. I'm not going to answer that because that's not really worth answering. Going to pincer this way over here. He does get some influence out here, but I don't know how big of a deal that actually is. I don't think the way I do this is actually right. Yeah, I don't think the way I do this is actually... I could do this, but that would be pretty dangerous. I do think I have to come up over here. He could go on top, which would actually be problematic for me. I probably should just jumped out. Interesting. Not the best move, but interesting. giving me this territory down here. I guess if he goes on top, I can do this first, so I guess it's not that bad. Okay, now he can't go on top anymore because he made me stronger there. Not really sure what the purpose of this move is, because I can just Hane out. And in this case, you've basically just let me destroy your Moyo, so I don't quite get it. Like, you... Yeah, that doesn't really make too much sense to me. I can just jump. That's fine. It's not like you can do anything here, you know? That's the thing. Like, there's actually nothing down here, so I'm not really sure what he's trying to do. And, like, I thought I actually thought the purpose of this... jump out. I honestly thought the purpose of, like, this was actually to make this territory over here. But since it's not, I'm not really sure what he's actually trying to do. It's actually not all that useful. I think he's trying to cut me off here. Pretty sure he is. Attacking my group. That kind of hurts him, though. Also, yeah, it is kind of problematic for me right now, I guess. Since he's already done that, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Ooh, it's not a good move for him. It's actually pretty wasteful of a move for him. Now that clamp is always there, regardless. And now I'm actually not afraid to do moves like this. Or even... No, I don't want to do that. Don't want to actually connect that. Let's see what this does. Oh wait, that's a bad move. It's a very, very bad move. That's not a good move. Not at all. That's also not a very good move, though. You can't actually break. Yeah, that's a horrible move. That's definitely not a good move for him. I think like the point of that was actually to break my liberties, but really not sure if that actually got what he actually wanted. If I do this, he can do that. I'm going to do this, actually. Yeah, I thought he would do that. But now what does he do? Because if he goes up, I'm going to extend. It's actually not bad. He can actually get some points over here by extending over here. I don't know if this is a good move for him or not. This could definitely get interesting if I actually move up, which I am like 100% sure I'm going to do now. It's actually, I mean, like it's riskier play for me definitely, but I think he messed up there. I don't know, actually. Did he mess up there? I'm not sure. It's actually pretty hard to calculate out. If he does that, I can just do this, because these two stones aren't really a thing. This is actually a hard decision. If he does that, I don't actually have to answer, but those two are actually kind of big. If I do this, I think that's a decent move. It's an interesting, more interesting game. Guys, please hit the likes. That would help me a lot. It's an interesting game, actually. It's one of the ones where I've actually been threatened. Okay, I can do this. I don't want to let him come out, I don't think. I could also do this. No, I think I'm going to do this instead. Okay, if I disconnect here, he can't disconnect, I don't think, because that would kill him. So I'm going to do this. Oh, that's not a good move for him because this kills him. I believe this kills him. Chari out. Oh, yeah, he still doesn't have enough liberties. It's two against three, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I calculated that right. I should have extended, but that I'm not going to pay attention to. So, yes. It's an interesting fight. I think if he played a little bit differently, it could have definitely came out a lot different. This is Sente for me, by the way. This is Sente for me, by the way. Might as well just take all the Sente advantages. All right, that's good. And I believe this is pretty large now. Of course, stuff like this is pretty big. I think like this is the only territory he has. That's actually a pretty good move. This is essentially like the only, like over here is the only territory that he actually has right now. So like territory-wise, I'm easily ahead. There's not too much territory up here. I think I'm going to jump out just to break either this way or this way. Like points-wise, it's going to be a much closer game than my other games. Because I didn't kill like a gigantic group, but he did give me a lot of advantages over here. I might actually try threatening this group afterwards, but I don't know if I'm actually going to do that. Either way, I think this is the right way to go. Actually, that might not have been the right move. Yeah, I think this is the right move for him right now. Either that or just like repairing that. I can just come down here though. There's very few points in there. This is also really big. That's also pretty big.
We're
gonna do this. It's not worth it. It's pretty big. This is also very big here. I think I'm going to do this first because these two aren't small. It's actually not. It's not actually a great move because there was something here that I could have helped him with that. It's not bad. Kind of a strange move, but not bad. I'm going to take the sentes here first, because the sentes are always a good idea to take. This is sente. Oh wait, hang on, I shouldn't have done that. Ah, my bad, my bad. It's my mistake. Not a huge mistake, but a mistake nonetheless. Also, points. Not too many points there because I can just do this. Oh, no, I can't do that actually.
10, 9.
This is bigger though, regardless. Surprisingly enough, like I don't have that many points this game. Like I said, I didn't actually kill anything. I don't think that was worth it. Not gonna answer that. It's not really that important. This is bigger than all those other things. I think this is actually getting to be fairly large now.
Ten, 9, 8.
That's Gote. Like I said, this is Gote, so we missed this. I have to say, he did play like a lot better than pretty much everyone else I've played. I mean, he didn't really fight with me all that much, besides this like right here. Of course, he's going to answer that. I think I'm still ahead by like 20 or 25 or 30 points or something like that, but definitely a little close. Oh, that's actually a good question. Okay, so this is like, so before you do that, you have to answer like some questions like, how many points are that? Is that? That's like 8 points. Well, 7 because I can take it back, right? Whereas this, I think, is significantly more because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So
10, 9,
choosing this connection is going to be more valuable than these 4 stones. And quite a bit more valuable. And actually, the reason it's going to be more valuable is because, like, this group is actually dead if you choose these stones. He can't actually make this group live. I'm going to take this first, I believe, because that one is a fake eye. So I'm going to take this back. And this group is pretty much dead at this point. Because like he can't connect here. This is Sente, but he doesn't have another eye. Yeah, this is Sente, but he doesn't actually have another eye. So you got to be careful of that in the end game. That's not going to be any good, because I'm just going to disconnect his 2 groups. So he had a pretty decent game, and he had a, well, it wasn't really that close, but he still had a pretty good game up until he made this mistake. So you do have to watch out. Like, these 4 Atari stones, I think they're at most worth like 6, 7 points. So even if this group wasn't in danger, I would have actually connected this. Even if this group wasn't in danger, I would have connected this stone, because this is at least 10 points in here, so I would have been up plus 4 points. I would have been up like plus 4 points, even if this wasn't dead. So you have to calculate those things. So yeah, like for people that don't really count, like they might think this is a fairly close game, but I'm actually up by like 39, 40 points already. Here, obviously, that was a mistake by him because it was just wasn't calculated out. But let's actually go back to the beginning of the game. You have the basic start. So I do that. He does that. This is the basic Joseki start. I'm fine with that. I double Hane. This is actually, this is fine. This, you definitely have to go here because him doing this, giving me the corner, giving me the corner here. I'm gonna just turn this off. I don't know how to turn that off actually. Giving me the corner here, like when I do this, giving me like the entire corner here, like you don't really get much out here. There's not that much influence you get out here, and this corner is just too much territory to actually give me. So you're losing a couple points there already. So he does that, which loses even more points. I mean, I should have done this first, but I wanted to extend the corner, and it's not that much different in terms of points. So he does that, and obviously he should have just he did actually go here, which is fine. He does that first. I'm gonna come out here. Realistically, I should have done this and just played it out this way, because this would give me so much. This would give me a huge advantage over him. I get this corner. My group's not under attack. This still isn't completely clean, and he basically gets nothing in here. So that's the way I should have played it out. This is how these games help me. Like they give me these sequences. I generally know, like I generally will know, like that this is favorable to me, but I don't know like sequences like these. So he does that. So at this point, like there's not much here. I really can't threaten you right now. So this is the best move. Like actually approach my corner here. So he does this. I'm gonna go out. I'm actually going to go out and just solidify this, but realistically I should have gone here, like I said. Didn't realize that. He does that. He approaches this side. I think like this approach is better. There's just more over here. And like the potential over here is kind of limited. So he does that. Katago is telling me to pincer here because this pincer feels really bad for black. And he wouldn't go with the regular Joseki. I actually don't like that result for white too much. It's not bad, definitely, but I don't actually like that result for white. So I'm just going to go with the regular here. I don't lose too much off of that. He does that. I'm going to do here. When he does that, like, yeah, like, if you're really good at calculating in a higher rank, this would be the best move, because then there's, like, Aji out here and stuff. But since I'm not, I can't really calculate all that well, I just go here, then he goes here. The higher move is better, because the higher move is actually better. Because this actually combines with your shape better. There might be some ways for me to attach. There actually might be some ways for me to attach invade, but this shape just doesn't look quite as good as this shape. So we have that right now. That would actually be the biggest move right now. And this would be the biggest move because A, it's a precursor to invasion. If I go here, he does actually have to answer, like either here or here. Right? If I do that, he does actually have to answer, and then I can just go somewhere else for the most part. Or I could, like, if he answers, I can just, like, if he actually answers, but if he answers, I can just do, like, this, and kind of, like, make this my moyo. Although it's not worth too much because he has these 3 stones here. But I didn't do that. I just took the, I kind of just took the, kind of like the big territory grab, which is, like, this is a mistake that I often make, actually. This would have been bigger because this is Sente. But I took the big territory grab. The correct move is actually here. This result's really complicated, but because this is too big of an extension. So that's why I can't actually do this. This is too big of an extension, so attaching here would actually bring me some trouble. If I do this, this always is going to give me trouble. Like, I can't do this because this basically results in you cutting off the corner. Although, like, I really wouldn't mind this result too much at this point, because, you know, there's, like, only so much you can get on the corner here, and then you've already given me all this. So I don't think I would mind this too much here. Like, you could go here. I would probably, or you could, you know, just opt for this. And I wouldn't mind this either. Yes, you do get some territory, but I get like one here as well. But I think overall this is probably better for black. So this is too big. This is too big of an extension. So attaching here would be the right move. This I go here, and then like attaching here or going here is definitely the right move, because, you know, like, if this is not nearly as good as for white as what I actually ended up with, and plus you get some influence on top. So doing this and allowing me to do this, I should have gone here, obviously. That's actually a better thing for white. I don't know how to turn this analyze mode off. Yeah, I don't know how to turn this off. But like, this is kind of a slower shape. Attaching here, he can't go here because I would just cut, and then he would have a hard time answering, doing anything, because, you know, he's too weak here. So doing this, he would have to Hane, and then I could either retreat, which I wouldn't, or I could do this. And that's just generally a better shape for me than what I did. I was trying to be a little too safe, but if I do that like this, I mean, like if I don't answer, there's always like, you know, this kind of move here and building out his top. And that's when I play Katago, that's a lot of times how he builds his influence on territory. So there's a lot of use for that there. So he does that. I'm going to pincer here. You know, I need to learn, for me, I need to learn to make use of like these moves. Rather than just going for like what looks like big territory. But I go here. He pincers. So I'm going to re-pincer. He does that. I jump. This is pretty common. This would actually, you know, like the thing is like here, I guess this could kind of work. This could kind of work for me, definitely, but it also solidify his bottom. At this point, like if he actually takes a stone, which I doubt he would, I would actually pincer here now, and this feels a lot better because he would probably have to do this at this point, and then he would jump up. I would jump up as well. And this feels a little bit more solidified at the bottom, but I couldn't take advantage like I did elsewhere. So I actually made some wrong moves here. I jumped up. He jumps up. I jump up here. He does that. That's actually not a good move because it just strengthens my side over here. He does that. I do this, and that gives me the bottom territory. But now he kind of has the initiative. This is also a bad move because it kind of like, you know, there's a lot of other stuff you can do here. Like this wouldn't work right now, obviously, because I can do this. But this generally doesn't get black all that much. And because like no one's actually going to like do this. Like realistically, no one's actually going to do this because this doesn't really work out for either side. I mean, like if I do this, you do this, you're going to win that fight. So that's really not a thing. So since you're not really protecting this, that's a bad move. That's also a pretty bad move. I should have actually done this actually. But like this is pretty similar. What I did was actually fairly similar. He has to extend out here, you know, and then I just like come out here. And obviously this, you immediately do this. I would probably do something like this, but this shape, this is a lot stronger than just this right here. He does that. This is also a bad move. I should have actually went up, but this is also generally a pretty bad move because when I connect, there's no Aji down here anymore. It feels like a use move. It does feel like a move that you can use, but here's the thing about this move that you can actually use. There's no point in doing this right now. Like when you're trying to build outside Moyo, this is definitely something you would do, but the Moyo is kind of useless right now, so it's not there. He does that, and then he goes over here. I should have Tiger's Mouth out immediately, but I was actually sort of afraid of the cap. So I'm going to jump out. He does this, and I guess this was the move here to actually do. And then like Tiger's Mouth out, definitely. So he does this. That's actually not a good move by me. I was trying to separate the two. I guess like this was always the move here. I don't know why I didn't see that. But I kind of like did this. He did this again. And then I'm going to do this. Now, the best move here is definitely just a block. Right now on this group, it's actually quite hard to kill this group right now. You have a lot of problems out here. So doing this and letting me actually go into the corner is a little bit more damaging than if you just blocked. And this is the better move, obviously. This is a better move right now. It might seem like you're damaging territory, but it's a little bit more solidified. So he does this, and this move like opens up this move as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. He does this. That's actually a very bad move by me. He does that, but that's also like not a very good move by him. I forgot about this because this would have totally screwed him. He could have disconnected here, but you know, like his group here is now no longer this strong. So it's going to be pretty hard for him to actually kill my white group here. since his group isn't really that strong. And these stones are kind of weak as well. So I definitely missed an opportunity. There. I connected, and he actually did this. Now that's definitely not a very good move. It does make me significantly stronger. I mean, like, I didn't see the audio here, so I just connected. But even if he did, I just connected here. But I shouldn't have been actually that afraid, because I could have just done this and went home. Because, like, if he does this, I can do this. And if he connects here, I can do this. And if he tries to disconnect, then I can just do this. Actually, no, that doesn't work for me, because if he does that, yeah, I'm like dead if he does that. But the thing is, like, he can't actually do this, because there's this move here now. Sorry, my mistake, because the ladder no longer works because he can't squeeze his liberty. So the ladder actually no longer works here. So, like, I completely misread this. I didn't really read the shape, and that's why you can't do this. Like, this would have been the move just to attack down here, because he can't actually disconnect this. But this was a bad move by me. Then he connects up here. I'm going to go out here. This is not a good move, because what I showed you, because, like, if he pushes, I can just retreat. He pushes again, I'm just going to retreat again. Then he does this, and obviously, like, there's definitely a lot of fighting style here, but I'm definitely going to go up. That was probably the correct move, and I will disconnect. But essentially, you're giving me these 3 stones in exchange for influence on the outside. And that's actually much better than what he actually did later, because you can actually get a decent amount of territory using this influence outside, and then using moves like this later. There's a lot of territory actually out here. So he does that. I should have done this, but I didn't actually calculate it out all that well, unfortunately. I'm going to do this move down here. He should have Hane'd out. I would have actually done this. I know this looks really good, but remember, this is Sente. So, I don't know, letting me out here is pretty dangerous. Letting me out here is actually fairly dangerous. I think you could try to kill me. You could definitely try to kill me at this, but it's kind of like a tenuous thing. It's actually pretty tenuous. So he didn't do that. He does that. And of course, like, I was thinking about doing this. And this is even worse, because if I do that, if that happens, like, I can just Hane out here, and this is, like, pretty hard to kill now. So he actually messes up more here. He does this. I'm going to go out. You can't push this because of your liberties situation. So he pushes. I should have actually just gone. I was thinking about this as well. I should have just gone out this way. But I'm actually going to cap. And he has to do this because of his liberties situation. And I'm going to go here. If he cuts, then I'm going to do like what... then I'm basically going to do like this combination of what it shows here. Right, and I'm going to be very, very hard to kill here. So he can't, like, he really can't kill this group. But the thing is, I don't think he counted the liberties, so he disconnected. Of course, I'm going to do this, and you can see the score bounces in my favor by like 28.4 now. So this guy actually stayed pretty close until around move like 100 on me. Definitely didn't make the best like decisions in terms of moves. But the thing is, like, if you don't fight me, you can actually stay pretty close to me in terms of score until like one big mistake comes. Obviously, if you do this, you're one liberty down, and then he does this, which puts me ahead by even more. I think he just miscalculated the liberties, and then he does this. This is a bad move. I should have definitely extended down. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, after I made this move, like, I should have extended down, because if I extend down, he can't do anything. I get this as well, so I get all of this. But of course, I got stupid. I just took it. Still very good result for me, but definitely not as good as it should have been. So he does that. I'm going to ignore that, obviously, and I'm going to just do this, because I know this is really big. This might have actually been a better move, but I didn't really want to fight that in there. But I just do this. He has to connect. I'm going to go ahead and take the... take the Sente with a couple of points. And then, of course, I'm going to do this. This might have been the bigger move right now, but like it's a little bit harder to calculate out for me on this. So I'm going to take the obvious move and do this. He goes up, and then I'm going to do that. Now, that is actually a pretty good play. It's not as good as here. I think like I kept on missing that play because I can't disconnect him with this play, which is why I didn't do it. But I'm going to just do that play because it's pretty big. He's going to jump up, and I'm going to jump in. This is going to be Sente. It's not really Sente, but, you know, like, he doesn't need to answer here. I mean, he kind of does, because if he does this, like, I can do this. There is this, I think. Yeah, there is this. But I mean, you could always do that or fight the ko with me. So there is that. So he saw. I don't know if he saw that or not, but he answered that. He answered this by doing this, and now that's over. So I'm gonna jump out here to break up this moyo. Although there's not too many points here, so this would actually be a better move. I'm gonna jump out here. He's going to try to protect this territory, but there's not that much to protect here because this isn't really that big anyways. I'm not going to try to escape. I'm really not going to try to escape that stone. That I finally do. Then he hanes on top. I'm going to re-hane. He does that. This is going to be a lot better. This solidifies this territory just as well. And if you do this, it just gives me like a free Atari. He does that. This is telling me that I should take this first because it probably thinks I can kill this group. But I wasn't too, it probably thinks I can kill this group, but I wasn't too sure if I could kill this group. So I wanted to save the 3 stones down there. He does this, then he connects. I am going to come up here because I know that's Sente. He does that, and I connect. Now, like I said during the game, this is the best move right now. Because, you know, like you can actually solidify some territory here. He does that. I'm going to go in here. That's actually fairly large. I'm going to go down here. He's going to do that. Yeah, I was thinking about this as well, but I don't think this would have gotten me anything. Because I mean, like, I could have actually... I guess I could have tried to attack this group, but I'm not really sure if I could kill it. I guess I'm thinking more in terms of even game as well, because I'm not really sure if I could actually kill this group. This group is pretty weak, so I definitely should have done this. I definitely should have done that. So I'm going to go down here because this is like a big closing move. He does that. I'm going to do this. He retreats on that. I do that. This isn't actually all that big right now. I should have done something else. Like this hane is bigger. This is bigger. And like, you know, there's all these moves down here as well. So I shouldn't have done that. I was trying to threaten to kill those two, but that's really not that big. He does that. I'm going to connect. This move isn't really that great because there's still like moves that would actually give me a lot of trouble here. Like this, like, you know, like if you cut that, it's hard for me to answer. It's pretty complex fighting down here, but like it's very, very hard for me to answer stuff like that. So I was actually pretty happy when he did this because that like gets rid of those problems. Charges, I block. He does, what does he do? He does this, which I don't really, I mean, I guess it's fine because he rescues the 2 stones. I should have pushed. I definitely should have pushed, but this is fine because that's just going to be Sente for the most part. But this was a bad move by me. I forgot that like if he blocks here, I can do this. I mean, I didn't forget. I just had like a brain fart, essentially. So like that was actually this was actually a very bad closing move by me because that solidifies his problem. I'm gonna push now, and he's gonna come out. He can just like do this. This is actually bigger than the push. He does that, and then that results in me doing this. And like I said, this hane is pretty big, so he should have just done this because I can't cut him anyways. He does that up there. This is kind of pointless right now. There's not that many points here. And I get the hane. And he's going to take the Sente, but What kata is telling us is that something over here is bigger, because I think you can actually somehow disconnect this group, and kata is saying like this. Oh, this group is definitely killable right now. This group is highly killable right now, so I shouldn't have actually answered that. So I'm gonna connect. He does that. I'm gonna I just easily connected those. I'm just using the easy connections, and basically taking the safe way out, but I should have taken Sente over here, and this group is highly attackable at this point. So, like these would regularly be Sente, but because this group is vulnerable, they're not quite Sente. So I'm gonna do this. He does that. I Atari. He Ataris. I'm gonna take, and that's not really that great of a move because it's not worth that many points. So I'm gonna do this. I definitely. Yeah, I mean, there's, I don't know, I don't think there's anything there anymore. Yeah, there's nothing there anymore, so I do this, he's going to have to block. I Atari, he does that. I'm just, basically squeezing out all the things over here. That's not that big of a move. There's very few points in there. And once I do this, there's almost, no points in there right now. So I'm going to connect this, couple of points there. He does this. I'm going to block. He does that. I'm going to do that. That's a bad move because that's obviously not Sente. He has to do that. But now he connects these two. I think he just forgot this here. So he does that. I'm going to take 3. He does that. I connect up, basic trade. This is actually a bad move by me because that's 1 point, so there's no point in doing that right now. Then I connect, he connects. So this is going to always be Sente. There's only one way he can connect, and I think this is pretty much the same thing as playing this directly. It's just a more complicated way of playing this directly. So he connects. I go here. He does that. See, the thing is, now I go here. I was just expecting him to do this, and then, we would play on. But the problem with this is, he does this, right? This is, this stone, even, this is, taking 4 stones is 8 points. But I can take 1 back, so this is really worth, 6 or 7 points. And if you actually count this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is already 11 points. So even if this group wasn't under threat when I connected if this group wasn't under threat when I connected this, it would still benefit me by about 5 points. And if the game is only about 5 points apart, he would have lost the game here. So I connect. Obviously he can't take that because this is actually dead. He has to do this. I would connect this. But he takes these stones, and of course I take the opportunity to basically, well, I should have just killed him, because when I did this is a goof up by me. He could still do this and live. I think he can still do that and live. But that was just a goof up by me. He wanted to connect, and then when I do here, he's dead now. So even if this group wasn't under threat, you would still connect this rather than Atari these 4, because those 4 are only worth about 6, 7 points. This is worth over 10. So that's the last mistake he made. He essentially only made 2 critical mistakes this game to lose by 100 points. One was definitely over here while we were fighting, and he didn't calculate the liberties. And 2 was not recognizing this was not that big and this group was under threat. And like I said, even if the group wasn't under threat, you would still connect it because this is just bigger than this. So this is just easy counting of points, and it's something you need to do in the closing game when you're thinking about making a trade. So that's going to be the review for today. Let me know what you think, like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button, and I will see you guys